Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the 91st SKOCH Summit State of Governance. Today, we discuss innovations in education and skill development with a panel of experts, which comprises of Mr. Alok Kumar, Special Secretary, Labour Resources Department, Bihar, Dr. Unnikrishnan Potheri Vasudevan, Member Secretary, Kerala Development Innovation Strategic Council and ex-officio secretary in the Kerala government, Dr. R.N. Singh, convener of the state-level NAAC team, Directorate of Higher Education, Chhattisgarh, as well as Mr. Bansidhar Tiwari, Director General of School Education in Uttarakhand. Ladies and gentlemen, with 422 million Indians below the age of 18, with 60% of our population below the age of 30, India's youth bulge and consequent demographic dividend is perhaps one of India's biggest opportunities, challenges. And our panel of experts today in the field have been working on the skilling, employability, safety, and education of the youth in the school system, as well as in the higher education system. Mr. Alok Kumar currently works with the Labour Resources Department in the government of Bihar as Special Secretary. He is an Indian Forest Service officer of the 2007 batch. He also holds the chair of Secretary, Building and Other Construction Workers, Bihar. Prior to his current stint, he has handled different portfolios in the government of Bihar. He was Member Secretary of the Pollution Control Board. Prior to that, he was Deputy Director at the Valmiki Tiger Reserve, West Champaran. And before that, he was Divisional Forest Officer at the Gaya Division. Dr. Unnikrishnan Potheri Vasudevan, currently heading the ambitious program for Kerala's transition to economy, has a rare blend of academic, research, government, professional, and consulting experience. Over 36 years, he's been heading innovation promotion in Kerala for the last 3 years, coming up with interesting innovations in education, democratizing innovation, and the promotion of MSMEs in the government of Kerala. He has been implementing a flagship project to employ 2 million educated unemployed in Kerala. Dr. R.N. Singh is an academic at heart who's published 32 research papers published in national, international research journals under his name. He's also a respected member of the working group of the State Planning Commission, the Chhattisgarh government, and was a member of the state level NEP 2020. Let me start by asking some basic questions to the panel, and I'd be very grateful given the time sensitivities, if all speakers could please take 3 to 5 minutes for their opening remarks. What, according to you, are the key challenges that are faced in administering effective education, skilling, training, and employability to the nation's youth? Is it the fact that some children are not within the folds of the school system? And Mr. Alok Kumar has been working very closely on a child labor tracking system. Is it the fact that, well, you know, there are people who want employment but don't have the requisite skills that are required or the requisite opportunities that are required to avail of this employment? And, you know, this brings me to speak to Mr. Dr. P.V. Krishnan's work, who's heading the Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission. Is it the fact that our schools don't have adequate levels of infrastructure service provisioning as the UDICE estimates indicate? Which brings me to Mr. Bansidhar Tiwari's work in Chhattisgarh, where they're revamping school buildings. Or does it pertain to the fact that there is a paucity of good education at the higher level in terms of accreditation, in terms of knowledge benchmarking, in terms of teaching availability and teacher training? Let me start with you, Mr. Alok Kumar.
Thank you, SKOCH, for having me here. In Bihar, what we are doing is, in the Labour Department, we have, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Okay, thank you. In Bihar, under the SAT Nishchay 1 and 2 of the CM, the state government was, you can say, for the last many years, it was already moving on this track of scaling. And that's why in SAT Nishchay 1, while we started few programs, in SAT Nishchay 2, we are taking it forward. We have a skill development mission, which is BSTM, looking for the skilling initiatives in the state. We have some wonderful initiatives. One of them is the RTD, which is one of the nominated projects and for SKOCH Award. Apart from that, also we are trying to have skilling right from the school level itself. We are trying to take the KYP to the school levels also. So few of the initiatives the state government has taken. But as you rightly pointed out, the gap between the skilling and the actual, which is, you can say, the technical expertise of the candidates whom we are approaching, there is some lag is there. Apart from that, the students or the candidates for skilling, they are also a bit confused. So many, you can say, not only offline, online, there are so many venues from where they are being told that you can get skilling from this sector, from that sector, you can get skilling in these things. A cohesive model has to be there in front of them so that they are not misguided and they don't waste their time just doing research in such kind of training. And the state government and the skilling departments, they may come forward to guide such students. In behalf, few of the initiatives that we have taken has got wonderful results. Just recently, we have started a convergence model wherein labor department along with industry department and then rural development department, we all have come together. The industry department is financing, the rural development department is mobilizing the candidates, and labor department is providing training. And we have already trained almost 850 of Jivka Didis, and we have a target of almost 3,300. 8 such units have already been operationalized. So wherever the departments are doing what is their domain, and then they are pitching it together, we have seen the results have been very good. Similarly, I would just like to give one example of firefighting. Now we know firefighters are in need everywhere, right? Every big building, every institution, they need to have this. Now, when we felt the need of having trained firefighters in the state, and we started the training under RTD model, lot of good response was there, and the students, before they finish the training, they are placed. And this has resulted in good mobilization of candidates under this scheme. Similarly, we have moved to Industry 4.0, and one thing that I wanted to point it out is state government has entered into MOU with Tata Tech, and we are trying to convert all our government ITIs into Center of Excellence. And we have already started in phase 1, and almost 60 ITIs have been selected by end of December this year. Many of the things would have been implemented. Apart from these things, under START initiative, we have also gone for setting up of mega skilling centers in all the divisional headquarters. So the state has taken initiative, but one thing which you pointed out in your opening remarks, that the students in the schools, the graduates passing out from the colleges, all this lot, they have got so many options, but then the targeted, you can say, counseling and then taking them forward, that is the imperative. And I hope the state government is working, and with the ideas which I will be getting, they will be trying to improve upon. Thank you. Rohan, perhaps you are muted. I could not listen anything.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for those opening comments. And I'll come back to you with certain questions regarding control and coordination between various departments that you're undertaking, be it the industry, rural development, as well as labor. I would now please kindly like to call upon Dr. Unni Krishnan for his perspectives on youth education, skilling, training, and employability. Dr. Unni Krishnan, please.
You had in your opening points, you had raised a question and the availability of students in the schools is a challenge. Of course, in the Kerala context, it's not a challenge because we have achieved very high levels of enrollment in the primary, secondary, and we have got almost 50% of students who are joined at the primary level reaching the high secondary level. Of course, we are trying to improve the gross enrollment rate. But I think at national level, when we look at the question, this issue also needs to be addressed. And I think that what we are trying to do is that, see, the whole question of skilling becomes a sort of a very important priority, and is because the talents which are coming out of schools and colleges are not employable, and this is because there are fundamental issues in education which need to be addressed. And apart from the whole issue of the education not being up to date and to meet the standards of the present day, there is also an approach in terms of education where we are not looking at practical real life problem solving as a very important mechanism, which even the teachers are not capable of addressing, because it requires cross-functional and multidisciplinary skills, which is not really available. So I'm extremely happy that in the context of the knowledge economy mission, we had one of the entries in your program. We have initiated a major open innovation program, which is apart from the skilling program. We are also trying to look at providing real life problem solving skills also as a part of the program. And we are also drastic change in world over, and there is a focus more in terms of specialized skills which are there required, and rather than the general sort of skills which can be catered to by the sort of regular jobs. There are specialist positions which are coming up for the freelancer or the gig. Sort of a gig is the lower end, but if you go up, you have the freelancer consultancy type jobs are also there. So there is a need for the labor force to address these things, and this is one of the things that we are, apart from the convergence between the various departments. Of course, we have created a common mission framework which works with all the relevant departments and the agencies, and we remain as a front end. We have created a digital platform which won the Platinum Award from the President, the Digital Workforce Training Platform. Digital Workforce Platform where mobilization, skilling, demand side management and placement happen seamlessly. Now, as a part of this platform, we are also trying to bring in two important components. One in terms of promotion of innovation, and the second one in terms of addressing the whole issue of changing workplace, where we are looking for possibility of the freelance and gig services being incorporated into this, where we are working with the industry on specific use cases where gig opportunities are there, where gigification of the local industry can happen, and also gig opportunities in the international domain is available, where we are tailoring specific group of students and cohorts of students to such skills so that they can avail that.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your perspectives, Dr. Unikrishnan. And yes, I do indeed agree. Kerala has made phenomenal strides in improving not only its enrollment rate, but also its literacy rate, Dr. Unikrishnan. And it's heartening to hear what you're seeking to achieve with the Kerala Knowledge Commission. But I'll come back to that in a minute. Please request Dr. R.N. Singh for his opening comments from the Chhattisgarh perspective. Dr. R.N. Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Rohan. I am Dr. R.N. Singh, convener, state level quality insurance cell, छत्तीसगढ़ स्टेट, राज्य गुणवत्ता आश्वासन प्रकोष्ठ की ओर से आप सभी का सादर अभिवादन। मुझे आप सभी को यह बताने में बड़ा गर्व की अनुभूति हो रही है कि छत्तीसगढ़ प्रदेश ने आज नए मूल्यांकन के क्षेत्र में नए आयाम गढ़े हैं। प्रदेश के 285 शासकीय महाविद्यालयों में से 211 महाविद्यालय नए मूल्यांकन की पात्रता एलिजिबिलिटी रखते थे। आज प्रदेश के 197 महाविद्यालयों का नैक से मूल्यांकन गत 2 वर्षों में संपन्न कराया जा चुका है, जो कुल एलिजिबल महाविद्यालयों का 94% है। छत्तीसगढ़ राज्य को जहां एक पिछड़े प्रदेश के रूप में जाना जाता था, आज वहीं उच्च शिक्षा विभाग रिमोट एरिया के महाविद्यालयों को भी नैक मूल्यांकन हेतु प्रेरित कर सफलता प्राप्त की है और राष्ट्रीय गुणवत्ता मापदंड पर हम खरे उतरे हैं। यही कारण है कि कई प्रदेश हमारी स्ट्रेटजी को जानने के लिए और उसे लागू करने के लिए अपने राज्य में इच्छुक हैं। हमारी सफलता का पूरा श्रेय राज्य गुणवत्ता आश्वासन प्रकोष्ठ, उच्च शिक्षा विभाग के माननीय सचिव एवं आयुक्त महोदया को जाता है। जिनके प्रयासों से हमने कोविड पीरियड में भी निरंतर काम किया और क्वालिटी इनिशिएटिव लिए। कोविड के दौरान हमने 3 स्तरों पर ऑनलाइन कार्यों को अंजाम दिया। राज्य गुणवत्ता आश्वासन प्रकोष्ठ ने एक टीम तैयार कर अपने स्तर पर संभाग एवं जिला स्तर पर टीम बनाकर नैक के मापदंडों की जानकारी महाविद्यालयों को दी। इस तरह संभाग और जिला स्तरीय टीम को हमने समन्वय के साथ प्रत्येक महाविद्यालय तक नैक के विभिन्न क्राइटेरिया की जानकारी मुहैया कराई, उनके एसएसआर को बनाने में मदद की। जहां एक और हमने हैंड होल्डिंग की, वहीं दूसरी ओर हमने हार्ट होल्डिंग पर भी ध्यान दिया, ताकि प्रत्येक महाविद्यालय का प्रत्येक सदस्य पूरी ऊर्जा के साथ, पूरी क्षमता के साथ महाविद्यालय की गुणवत्ता निर्धारण में अपनी भागीदारी सुनिश्चित कर सके। यह सभी कार्य हमने एक कार्य योजना के माध्यम से कार्य रूप में परिणित किया। जहां एक को हम नैक में जाने के लिए महाविद्यालयों को तैयार कर रहे थे, वहीं दूसरी ओर हमने वैल्यू एडेड कोर्सेस, स्किल कोर्सेस को प्रारंभ करने की तैयारी भी प्रारंभ कर दी, ताकि रोजगारपरक गुणवत्तापूर्ण शिक्षा के लिए अपनी संस्थाओं को तैयार कर सकें, जिसमें हम काफी हद तक सफल भी रहे। इस वर्ष हमने पायलट प्रोजेक्ट के रूप में 8 स्वशासी महाविद्यालयों में एनईपी 2020 के अनुरूप पाठ्यक्रमों के संचालन को प्रारंभ किया है, ताकि हम इन महाविद्यालयों के अनुभवों से सीख सकें और अन्य महाविद्यालयों में इसे स्टेप बाय स्टेप लागू करें। तो हमारे पास एक रोड मैप भी तैयार होगा, जिसमें हमें बाधाएं कम होगी, सफलता के आसार ज्यादा होंगे। हम एनईपी 2020 के पाठ्यक्रमों में जहां बीएससी, एईसी, जीईसी को नई शिक्षा नीति के अनुरूप संचालित करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, वहीं दूसरी ओर एसईसी पाठ्यक्रमों को तैयार करने में हम पुराने अनुभवों के बजाय आने वाले भविष्य पर ज्यादा फोकस डालने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि परिवर्तन का दौर इतना तीव्र है कि हम जो भी आज कर रहे हैं वह पुराना पढ़ने में देर नहीं लग रही है। भविष्य बड़ी तेजी के साथ हमारा द्वार खटखटा रहा है। हमारा पूरा प्रयास है कि हम नई शिक्षा नीति में आने वाले समय के अनुरूप अपने विद्यार्थियों को तैयार कर सकें। दूसरे स्टेप में हम लीड कॉलेजों को इस नई शिक्षा नीति में जोड़ेंगे। तत्पश्चात प्रदेश के बड़े महाविद्यालयों में इसे लागू करने का प्रयास करेंगे। उसके पश्चात ही सभी महाविद्यालय एनईपी 2020 के दायरे में आ जाएंगे। एसईसी में हमारा जोर इंडस्ट्री इंस्टीट्यूशन इंटरेक्शन पर ज्यादा जोर है। इंडस्ट्री से हम एमओयू यूज कर रहे हैं, ताकि हम एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी को बढ़ावा दे सकें। स्वयं एवं मूक के प्लेटफॉर्म पर विद्यार्थियों को ले जाने हेतु पृथक से कार्य योजना का निर्धारण कर रहे हैं, ताकि विद्यार्थियों में जागरूकता के साथ साथ उक्त प्लेटफॉर्म को यूज करने के लिए हम विद्यार्थियों को तैयार कर सकें। साथ ही साथ हम स्थानीय कला संस्कृति से जुड़े स्किल प्रोग्राम को भी लोगों तक पहुंचाने के लिए, विद्यार्थियों को जोड़ने के लिए निरंतर प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम से चलाने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, ताकि लोकल को ग्लोबल से जोड़कर एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी को हम बेहतर बना सकें। इस तरह हमारा प्रदेश कुछ चुनिंदा महाविद्यालयों को एनआईआरएफ रैंकिंग के तहत प्रोजेक्ट कर रहा है, ताकि हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशन नेशनल लेवल पर ही नहीं बल्कि इंटरनेशनल पर भी कॉम्पिटिट कर सके। राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर भी मैं कुछ सुझाव देना चाहूंगा। नई शिक्षा नीति का केंद्र बिंदु इनोवेशन तथा स्किल डेवलपमेंट है। मेरे विचार से आधारभूत शिक्षा के अस्तित्व के साथ साथ युवा में स्किल तथा इनोवेशन विकसित करने हेतु सभी प्रयास की आवश्यकता है। हमारी प्रमुख समस्या रोजगारमुखी शिक्षा का विकास करना है, जो बहुत हद तक अपने लक्ष्य को अब तक प्राप्त नहीं कर पाया है। अतः युवा पीढ़ी के लिए आवश्यक हो गया है कि हमारे उपलब्ध स्रोत से अधिक मात्रा में मानव उपयोगी उत्पाद बनाने की क्षमता तथा सोच का विकास करें। इसके लिए हमें कुछ लक्ष्य निर्धारित करने की आवश्यकता है। पहला लक्ष्य होगा प्राकृतिक स्रोत का सतत उपयोग हेतु एंटरप्रेन्योर की क्षमता का विकास करना। जैसे एक उदाहरण के तौर पर कृषि थीमस फ्लावर से फेनवाइलरेट कीटनाशक का उत्पादन, जिसका हम आज भी बृहद पैमाने पर जापान से आयात करते हैं, जबकि इसका मूल स्रोत हमारे यहाँ बहुतायत मात्रा में है। इसी प्रकार आज भी हमारे मॉलिक्यूल का स्रोत उपलब्ध होने के पश्चात भी हम इसका वाणिज्यिक उत्पादन नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। यदि यह संभव हो जाए तो बहुत हद तक नई शिक्षा नीति के अनुसार रोजगार का विकास करना हमारे लिए संभव हो सकेगा। दूसरा लक्ष्य शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में होने के कारण मैं यह कह सकता हूं कि केवल नीति बनाने से लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति नहीं कर सकेंगे। सबसे पहली आवश्यकता शिक्षकों को किए जा रहे परिवर्तन के अनुसार प्रशिक्षित करने की है। दूसरी आवश्यकता तदनुसार शिक्षा संस्थानों में आधारभूत संरचना में परिवर्तन करने की है ताकि लक्ष्य को हम प्राप्त कर सकें। तीसरा लक्ष्य, आज शैक्षणिक संस्थान एवं उद्योग के बीच एक बड़ी रिक्तता देखने को मिल रही है, अतः आवश्यक है कि राष्ट्रीय नीति के तहत उद्योगों को शैक्षिक संस्थान से जोड़कर ज्ञान का आदान प्रदान सुनिश्चित करने हेतु मापदंड तैयार किया जाए। यद्यपि इस दिशा में कुछ कार्य हुआ है, फिर भी वह धरातल के स्तर पर निम्नतम है। शैक्षणिक संस्थान के लिए आवश्यक है कि वह उद्योग के अनुसार अपने पाठ्यक्रम में परिवर्तन करे ताकि उद्योग की आवश्यकता को पूर्ण किया जा सके। हमारा राज्य इस ओर अग्रसर हो रहा है। हम इंडस्ट्री और इंस्टीट्यूशन से एमओयू करने का पूरा प्रयास कर रहे हैं ताकि इस लक्ष्य तक हम प्राप्त कर सकें। चौथा लक्ष्य, विश्वविद्यालय अनुदान आयोग के लिए मेरा सुझाव है कि किसी भी नीति को बनाने के बाद उसके परिणाम का इंतजार किया जाए तथा उस सिस्टम में संलग्न सभी युवाओं के लिए अवसर उपलब्ध कराना सुनिश्चित किया जाए। विश्वविद्यालय अनुदान आयोग काफी तीव्रता से अपनी नीति बदल रहा है तथा पिछले नीति के अंतर्गत अध्ययनरत छात्र छात्राओं को कोई प्रावधान नहीं करता है। आप सभी केवल नेट तथा पीएचडी की बाध्यता का आकलन करें तो बहुत कुछ अपने आप स्पष्ट हो जाता है। पांचवा लक्ष्य हमारा है, भारत सरकार तथा राज्य सरकार एंटरप्रेन्योर हेतु कुछ कदम जरूर उठा रखी है, परंतु मेरे अनुसार यह नाकाफी है। वर्तमान स्थिति में हमारे कृमि छात्र छात्राएं इस व्यवस्था का लाभ उठा पा रहे हैं। हमारी आवश्यकता अवसर छात्रों के लिए इसकी व्यवस्था करना है, अन्यथा देश अपने लक्ष्य को प्राप्त नहीं कर पाएगा। अतः राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर अवसर छात्र छात्राओं को ध्यान में रखकर एंटरप्रेन्योर हेतु सभी व्यवस्था में गुणात्मक परिवर्तन की अत्यंत आवश्यकता है। छठवां लक्ष्य हो सकता है स्किल तथा एंटरप्रेन्योर हेतु स्थानीय, राज्य एवं राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर इकोसिस्टम तैयार करने की आवश्यकता है। महाविद्यालय तथा विश्वविद्यालय स्तर के स्किल तथा एंटरप्रेन्योर का संपोषण राज्य स्तर पर सभी राज्यों के लिए राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर लिंक होना बहुत जरूरी है। स्थानीय स्तर पर स्थानीय उपलब्धता के स्तर पर उत्पाद लाने का प्रयास होगा जिससे व्यावसायिक गारंटी क्रमशः राज्य तथा राष्ट्र स्तर पर सुनिश्चित की जा सकेगी। तभी हम नई शिक्षा नीति के लक्ष्य को स्किल तथा इनोवेशन के माध्यम से एंटरप्रेन्योर के स्तर पर पहुंचकर राष्ट्र के विकास।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद
आपने रखे, हमें सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगा। बहुत बेहतरीन काम हो रहा है आपके प्रदेश में। हम जरूर अभी थोड़े ही पूछेंगे। हमारे साथ अभी आए हैं मिस्टर बंशीधर तिवारी, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ उत्तराखंड से। मैं उनसे भी जरूर सुनना चाहूंगा। मिस्टर बंशीधर तिवारी, आर यू विद अस सर? Mr. Tiwari. Well, it appears that Mr. Bhanshidhar Tiwari is yet to join us. So this brings me to my second round of questioning. I must ask Mr. Alok Kumar, so what are the challenges in terms of control and coordination that you faced while interfacing with various departments such as industry, which is bringing this element, with rural development, with mobilizing people to grassroots, and labor, which is providing the training? If we look at the budgetary expansion of the Labor and Labor Welfare Department in Bihar, 2014 and 2022-23, sir, this has increased substantially to 795 crores from 118 crores in 2014 and 15. Were there any challenges that you faced in interfacing with multiple government departments to achieve this?
In the example which I gave you regarding the bag manufacturing units with the industry department and rural development department, in fact, this is a classic case of good convergence wherein the roles and the duties of each department were very clear, and nobody was encroaching upon anyone's else work. In fact, the industry department was funding, rural development department was mobilizing the candidates, and we were providing the training. But then we do face few issues when we have a different model also, wherein the convergence and you can say the budgeting and the target fixation, all those things, the issues are there. Wherein the trainings are conducted, then assessment is done, and then thereafter certification and all those issues. It does come because all the departments have their own perspective, they have their own, you can say, goals and ideals, and then bringing all the departments under one framework, one SOP that has its own challenges. But then, for example, some some training programs will find place in across the departments, which are not so, you can say, they have become obsolete, or they are not much in demand. But then just for the sake of training, few of the training programs do find their place across the departments. But then those things we have been able to sort it out through regular meetings, then hand-holding, and then making of annual action plans in association in tandem with the skill development mission. So once we have been able to do this, then those problems have gradually been sorted out. I think that at the state level, at senior level, for example, all the departments are there, and then say senior level, when all the departments, the nodal officers, they have regular interaction, regular meetings, and then the capacity building of the officers who are doing that, who are taking care of the skilling initiative in those departments, gradually it happens. At times, what happens, the person who was dealing with the training in, say, industry department, or say some science technology department, he gets transferred and some other officer comes, and all of a sudden he's faced with the task of dealing with all those targets, and then he's confused. So all these things, skilling per se, I think some continuity has also to be there, continuity of policy, continuity of person, all those things have to be there. And then assurance of budget support also. At times, maybe the training was conducted in one fiscal year, and then when the you can say they need to be reimbursed in the next fiscal year, the provisions might not be there. So these things, it's not the annual action plan. Something has to be a horizon perspective plan has not to be of 1 year. It should be, say, 3 years and 5 years. And then within that perspective plan of 3 years and 5 years, you can have annual action plan just to have continuity of purpose also. This is my view.
Thank you very much, Kumar. Dr. Unnikrishnan, as Mr. Kumar mentioned in opening remarks, under Sat Nishchay, 60 ITIs have been selected within the state. You know, in Kerala itself, the Kerala e-knowledge economy mission, you have registered 12.2 lakh candidates on the portal in less than 2 years. The growing number of employers reflects the acceptability of the employee pool's capability. 32 skill providers are part of the program. 4.76 lakh application jobs have been received. 31,456 people have been interviewed. 21,508 have been shortlisted, and you've provided 11,027 jobs. You mentioned in your opening remarks that sometimes, even after receiving the benefit of higher education, the youth might lack the requisite skills for employability. Would you like to share with us how the initiatives you have undertaken have helped address this mammoth gap, Dr. Unnikrishnan? Well, it appears that we've momentarily lost connection with Dr. Unnikrishnan. Let me circle back to Dr. R.N. Singh. Singh साहब, आपने हमें बताया कि आपके प्रदेश में 2085 महाविश्वविद्यालयों में से 2011
285 सर 285
2085
नहीं 285
सॉरी 285 मुझे माफ 285 महाविद्यालयों में से 211 नैक के लिए एलिजिबल थे, और आपने 94% इसमें से अपना टारगेट अचीव कर लिया है। मगर सिंह साहब, आपके प्रदेश में बहुत जनसंख्या हमारे आदिवासी भाई बहनों की भी है, तो आप उन एरिया में जाके आपने वहां पे अक्रेडिटेशन कैसे कराया, और वहां आपको कुछ चैलेंजेस फेस हुए?
डिफिकल्ट टास्क था सर हमारे पास, खासकर रिमोट एरिया जो बस्तर है, जगदलपुर है, जहाँ नक्सल अफेक्टेड बहुत ज्यादा है एरिया, वहां तक आम पहुंच नहीं है। फिर भी हमने एक स्ट्रेटजी तैयार की सर, और हमारा जो क्वालिटी इंश्योरेंस सेल है स्टेट लेवल का, उसके माध्यम से हमने कुछ लोगों को तैयार किया वहां पर, और तैयार करके एक टीम तैयार की सबसे पहले हम स्टेट लेवल पर, और उस टीम को हम रिमोट एरिया तक ले गए, और रिमोट एरिया पर हमने 3 स्टेप में काम किया। पहले तो हमने स्टेट लेवल पर एक रिसोर्स पर्सन की टीम तैयार की, उसके बाद सेकेंडली हमने जो आपका रीजन लेवल है, रीजन लेवल पर हमने एक रिसोर्स पर्सन की टीम तैयार की, और तीसरा हमने डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पर रिसोर्स पर्सन की टीम तैयार की। और इस तरह से हम जो हमारा डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल का जो रिसोर्स पर्सन जो थे, वो जाकर के उस रिमोट एरिया कॉलेजेस में जाकर के वहां पे लोगों को सबसे पहले तैयार करना हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था, क्योंकि दे आर नॉट रेडी फॉर नैक एक्रेडिटेशन। तो हमारा सबसे बड़ी समस्या हमारे लिए तैयार करने की थी। हमने उनको मेंटली तैयार किया, और इसका उपयोग हमने कब किया, जब कोविड चल रहा था। कोविड के दौरान जब पूरा देश एक तरह से बंद की स्थिति में था, उस समय हमारी स्टेट काउंसिल ने और स्टेट जो क्वालिटी इंश्योरेंस है उसने स्ट्रेटजी बनाई, और जाकर के हम उस पीरियड का उपयोग किया हमने, और उपयोग करके हम ग्रास रूट लेवल पर जाकर के पहले सबसे पहले उन्होंने तैयार करने के बाद जो उनकी कमियां थी, स्टेट लेवल पर उन कमियों को हमने फाइंड आउट किया और उसकी जो भी कमियां थी उसको पूरा करने का प्रयास किया। और पूरा करने के बाद फिर हमने उनका एसएसआर तैयार किया। एसएसआर तैयार करने के बाद उस एसएसआर को जो है स्टेट डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पर और संभाग लेवल पर, रीजन लेवल पर हमने उसको चेक किया। चेक करने के बाद हमने उसको अपलोड कराया। अपलोड कराने के बाद हमने उनकी मार्क विजिट की। मार्क विजिट करने के बाद जो उनकी कमियां थी उसको दूर किया और अल्टीमेटली जो है हम उन रिमोट एरिया का, आज रिमोट एरिया की स्थिति ये है सर कि लगभग रिमोट एरिया के 99% कॉलेजेस जो हैं, एक दो कॉलेज ऐसे बचे हुए हैं जो उनकी अभी नेक्स्ट 2 और 3 मंथ्स में कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, बट 99% हम अचीव कर चुके हैं रिमोट एरिया में। और स्पेशली जो बस्तर रीजन है, आपका रायपुर दुर्ग रीजन के कुछ करीब 4 डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैं। आपके रायपुर रीजन जो है उसके 3 डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैं। अंबिकापुर रीजन जो है उसके 2 डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैं। इस तरह से लगभग कुल मिलाकर के 17 डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऐसे हैं जहां कहीं ना कहीं नक्सल और जो बेल्ट्स हैं जहां पर आम आदमी के लिए जाना बड़ा मुश्किल है, वहां पर हमारी टीम ने काम किया। और आज बताएं हम आपको बहुत अच्छा है। और नॉट इवन नए एक्रेडिटेशन हमने कराया, वैल्यूएटेड कोर्सेज, स्किल कोर्सेज भी आज वहां चल रहे हैं। और बस्तर में हमने बस्तर आर्ट जो है उसकी ट्रेनिंग हमने शुरू कर दी है और वहां से स्किल हमने उनको ट्रेनिंग दी हुई है। और हम अब उसके लिए प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि हम जो मार्केटिंग जो डिपार्टमेंट्स है उससे टाई अप करके हम उनको प्रमोट करने की बात सोच रहे हैं।
जी, धन्यवाद सिंह साहब। We've been joined by Dr. Uni Krishnan again. As I was asking earlier, Dr. Uni Krishnan, 12.2 lakh candidates have registered on the Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission portal in less than 2 years. 4.7 lakh applications for jobs have been received. 51,456 candidates have been interviewed, and you have provided jobs to 11,027 candidates, Dr. Uni Krishnan. Mr. Alok Kumar was just mentioning that under Sat Nishchay, 60 ITIs have been identified for providing specialized skill training to the youth in Bihar. In light of this, your comment in the opening remarks, where you mentioned that even after receiving the benefit of higher education, sometimes youth lack the requisite skills to gain employability. How are you addressing this challenge to the Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission, Dr. Uni Krishnan? You're muted, Dr. Uni Krishnan. If you could kindly answer.
First of all, we are trying to have a huge partnership with the people who are involved. We have taken even though we have created a platform of our own, we have created as a platform of platforms, and we are trying to work with other people who are working. For instance, we have got an arrangement with Foundit or Monster, and the entire demand side management process of Foundit is integrated with us. We have an arrangement with LinkedIn, which so that the whole process of demand side management of LinkedIn is linked with us. We are now going to sign an agreement. The government is in the process of doing that with Coursera for creating specific career paths for children, for students in various domains, which has been, built with the support of around 120 best universities and also around 100 corporates across the world. So we have created platforms with all this. Now we made an agreement with the Confederation of Indian Industries for the industry, and the sector councils are closely working with us in building new courses, also in building new courses, because we are finding that there are number of gaps which exist, because the National Skill Development Framework is there, the skills sector councils are there, but the speed at which the new skills have come up and the bridge courses have come up, not enough. So this is one of the challenges that we are facing, and we are in the process of addressing this. We have launched a new program called Skill Express, which essentially targets the students and higher education institutions, and we are trying to connect them with specific industries and run tailor-made programs, basically RTD type of programs, which leads to employment. And we are not only looking at IT, but we have a number of other focal areas like agriculture, the higher end precision agriculture related areas, green energy and electric mobility, health sector, fintech, and these are also important areas that we are looking at. We have also created a model where we are having center of excellences in engineering colleges and higher education institutions, and we are linking this center of excellences through a cluster mode with the other institutions, so that the cutting edge skills can be very easily imparted and support could be provided to teachers and children in running this. And this we are trying to integrate with Coursera, where we are using the best quality content and also project related works, because Coursera is usually perceived as something which is an online learning platform, but we are going beyond that, where actual real life projects are also brought onto the Coursera platform, and we are trying to see whether clear career paths have been defined, could be defined, and we have a mechanism whereby the faculty members in the colleges and the institutions are working as mentors through a program with Coursera, where they actually do the mentoring of the students also. They give them continuous guidance in terms of the real life problem solving, as well as in undertaking the courses, which is a very unique model which we are trying to build up. So with wider industry partnership, with the creation of bridge courses, with the creation of center of excellences and tie-ups with translation engineering institutions, and using a platform approach, we are trying to address this mammoth challenge. And as you rightly said, we have been able to address the issue of mobilization. But now we are going deeper into that. We are finding that the marginalized sections are not having the enough participation on our portal, even though we have larger numbers, which is by and large the middle class and the upper middle class. We are now trying to reach out to transgenders, we are trying to reach out to scheduled castes, we are trying to reach out to scheduled tribe, we are trying to reach out to fishermen through very focused community level programs, where we are trying to improve their partnerships so that the issue of skilling of these sections can be also addressed.
Thank you very much, Dr. Unikrishnan, for sharing your perspectives. Given that we are running short on time, I would like to invite Mr. Alok Kumar for his closing comments. Mr. Kumar, Dr. Unikrishnan spoke extensively about the gig economy and making jobs available to the youth. He spoke about partnering private institutions. There are immense learnings, such as in the case of Andhra Pradesh, which set up the Andhra Pradesh e-knowledge exchange portal in coalition with the Khan Academy for the youth. Recently, it was in the news that the Bihar Skill Development Ministry signed an MOU with a private e-commerce player. Would you like to share some perspectives about the public-private linkages within skill development in your state, Mr. Kumar?
We are, as you rightly pointed out, all these challenges mostly sorted out through convergence, and we have a few examples. As I told you, in the RTD model, we started few wonderful training initiatives with some renowned partners. We are working on future skills also. Just yesterday, we have started for food street vendors. We'll be providing them training so that they also upskill themselves. We are also trying to work on some other aspects, like for example, we are trying to use the SHG network, self-help group network, through the Jivka Didis. We are trying to mobilize and go towards other aspects also, other sectors wherein like textiles, and there we can pitch in. In ITIs, we have almost 1.5 lakh you can say students studying each year, and then just 150 government ITIs, but then more than 1,000 private ITIs. Now, once we are done with the center of excellence in the government ITIs, we will be using those as hubs, and all the private ITIs will also be, you can say, not on the bandwagon of this center of excellence. And we are also trying to have the mega skill centers through private partner initiative only, wherein the partners in different sectors, they will be invited to take over one of the such kind of skill centers, and they will be the nodal for a particular sector, and then the many districts which they will be catering, they will be imparting training on those things. So we are trying to work on those lines. I hope in the coming years, those things will be improved. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our distinguished experts for sharing their perspectives of education and skill development and innovations thereunder. Thank you very much for joining this afternoon, and we look forward to the SKOCH Award at the end of the summit.